Welcome to Sunday Springboard with Melanie and Kimberlyn Coaching, where we help women find their strength and flourish after major life transitions. Does your brain feel foggy? Are you having trouble focusing? Do you struggle to remember things? Are you not enjoying the things that used to make you happy? If you're experiencing any of these things, you may be asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Or am I going crazy? If you're enduring an abusive, stressful, or negative situation, or just living right now in the pandemic, these experiences are perfectly normal. We're starting a new series about recovering from stress and trauma. Our first lesson today will be an explanation, a very basic explanation of what's going on in our bodies that is causing all of these uncomfortable sensations. Along the way, we're going to also learn tools and techniques to help us calm our bodies and move out of these negative emotions and back into our power and energy that will let us move forward into the lives we want to live. Everyone alive right now qualifies as having experienced a major traumatic event in his or her life. So let's talk a minute about how our brains are wired, how our bodies are supposed to respond. Our brain wants to take care of us. We are set up to watch out for negative things, to look for danger, and our brain's main purpose in life is to keep us alive. So it's always on the lookout. Our brains cannot determine or distinguish between emotional danger or physical danger, so it responds the exact same way no matter what the danger is or no matter what danger it perceives that is happening. So if your brain thinks you're in danger, it pours immediately about 30 different hormones into your body. Now, we're not only going to talk about 2 or 3 of them, and probably not so much today, but they're adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. When these hormones go into your system, this can be called the fiery cocktail. Your body is ready to get you out of danger. So you've probably heard of fight or flight. So the noradrenaline gets your body ready to fight. So a person who is feeling hostile and angry, they're in that fight realm. They're trying to fight to get into safety. If the fighting is not what you need, then you get the adrenaline, and this is getting you ready to run. You're fleeing, you're flying, you're going away, you're running away, you're getting safe. If you can't fight it out, if you can't run away from it, then the next thing that you're going to do is what we call mitigate, and this is where you just shut down. So you don't feel any of these emotions. You may experience all 3 of these all in one day, or you may have settled into one of them is your basic default. Whether you get angry quickly and you want to fight about it, whether you just avoid it and run away, or whether you just back down and shut down so you don't feel any emotions. Now, when our brain senses that we're in danger and it pours all these emotions out because we're ready to get safe, this is great and wonderful if you're out in the woods and a bear is running after you. But it's not so great in the world that we live, when most of the time our danger is not physical, but it is emotional. So when we get these hormones rushing into our body, and for me, I actually feel it as I rush. Everything above your diaphragm gets activated. So you might feel your heart race, you might feel your breathing harder, you may feel stiffness in your shoulders, in your neck, you may have headaches, your eyes hurt. You're just, all of this part of your body is activating. A very interesting thing here also is that the cilia inside your ears quits moving so that you cannot hear as well. Have you ever been talking to someone who is very activated? It could be in a bad way or a good way. I mean, you get activated even when there's happy things, but especially if there's hard things that you're upset about, and you're talking to that person and you're saying, "You're not listening to me." Yeah, they're not listening. They can't hear you. Their body has flushed all these hormones and they're not hearing you. So what do we do when we're talking to someone? You may be thinking of a time you've been talking to your child and you're not listening to me, so you start talking louder, you start talking faster, when really what you need to do is slow it down. Speak more slowly, maybe 1 or 2 uh, seconds, 1 or 2 seconds between each word. And if you can, drop not the loudness necessarily, though that's probably good too, but lower the tone. So instead of speaking up here really high, you're speaking lower, down low, and that will help the person that you're talking to be able to hear you. Okay, so back to you though. So everything above your diaphragm is all activated. Everything below your diaphragm is pretty much just hanging out. It's not doing anything because all of the activity in your body is above. So this means your intestinal system is not working, your digestive system is not working. So you may be having stomach aches, you may have diarrhea, constipation, all those kind of issues down below because nothing is working. Your food is just kind of sitting there, makes you feel kind of sick. So I was married to an alcoholic, and every time that something would happen, and it happened often, either I would find out he spent extra money or he didn't come home or just different things that would happen, I would feel this rush, just whoosh, and it actually felt like that. And I would have the nerves I could feel them on the outsides of my arms, and it wouldn't be 5 minutes before I'd be running to take care of things because my intestines were just messed up. I mean, it was so quick. Now that I look back and now that I know what was going on, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. So when these sensations come to us, we feel like these are emotional things. We start thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get over this? Why do I still react this way? We're seeing it as emotional problems. Maybe we're feeling like we're we're mentally disturbed. We often get critical of ourselves. But here's the thing. This is the exciting thing. The way we're feeling when we have this rush is exactly appropriate to what is happening in our body. This is the way our body is supposed to react because of the hormones that our brain is pushing in our body. So the brain has pushed these hormones. It takes us 8 to 30 hours to metabolize them out of our system. So we normally think of trauma as a major event, and it can be. But really, trauma refers to what happens in your body when you have this either major state of stress or a constant state of stress. So if you're in a constant state of negativity, criticalness, fear, anxiety, walking on eggshells, a child is got parents that are constantly arguing and fighting or just different things like that. When this is a constant thing, every day your brain is pushing out these hormones because it thinks that you're in danger. And every time they get pushed to you, it takes 8 to 30 hours to metabolize them. Well, your brain gets tired of this. It says, this is too much work. And so it slows down your metabolism so that you are constantly full of these hormones. And so you're constantly in this state of heightened awareness, heightened anxiety, the feeling of tension, the can't focus, can't think, can't remember things, and this just becomes your constant way of life. It makes sense that when things come up in your life where you need to think clearly, where you want to think about the future, you want to have hope, you can't think about it because everything is too busy running on safety. So one of the main things we're going to learn in these series are how do we regulate our bodies. We're not seeing this as mental illness. We're not crazy. Our bodies are trying to take care of us, but it doesn't really know what we really need. There are exercises we can do, breathing exercises, exercise itself, walking, anything like that gets your body moving, talking to supportive people, music, laughter. We're going to go through each thing and talk more. Each time at the end of every one of these next few lessons, we're going to have an actual tool. And everyone reacts differently. Some things respond, and I mean, some things you respond to and make you feel good and make you feel better, and others won't. So you can just try each one and see if it helps you. And if you have some things that you already know that you do, then you can share them in the comments. So I actually have a recent experience I want to share with you about this. So I got a text the other day from someone in my past, hadn't talked to him in close to 12 years. And it was someone that, looking back, my brain knows that when I have interactions with this person, it is not good. It is danger. So I got this text, and immediately I had that rush. Within just a second of reading it, I was shaking. My heart was racing. My head is crazy. Everything that I had been concentrating up to that point was gone. I could not concentrate. I couldn't think of anything except this text. So what was different is before I didn't know what was going on. I'm just reacting. I'm freaking out. And I'm thinking it's me. I'm thinking, oh, why do I react this way? And the problem is when we do that, when something happens and we get triggered, we got that rush, right? So when I got that rush, my brain poured all those hormones in my body. That was there. There's no way to get rid of that except metabolizing them. But if I keep criticizing myself, if I keep saying, oh, here you go again, you're never going to get over this. Can you ever just be calm, or all the different things that we tell ourselves, that would just keep my brain pushing more hormones. So one of the key things I would like for you to do is, if you do have a trigger, if you do have something happen to you, if you have a panic attack, if you have a seizure, things that normally you criticize yourself about, and it takes you a while to react and respond and get back to normal, I want you to try to stop, be compassionate to yourself. Tell yourself, what just happened was biological. It was physiological. Just happens because my brain still thinks that I'm in danger. And this is okay. I will get over this. This too shall pass. And I'll be okay. And calm yourself down with being compassionate to yourself. And then you can at least stop any more hormones from being pushed into your body, and then you will still have to metabolize those. So back to my situation, my text. I can tell you, I'm freaking out. My whole body is just shaking. And so this time I knew what was going on. So I said, okay, what can I do to calm myself? Well, first I texted some supportive people, started kind of getting some reality to things. And then I did some breathing exercises, which I'm going to show you one of those in a minute. So I did some breathing, I did some talking, I did some exercise. And this first one was it was out of nowhere, and I wasn't ready. So I got a big dose of those hormones. So it took a little while, it took a couple hours before I was truly calm and could get back thinking about my life. Well, I did not think that I had to immediately answer that text. Again, that is a new thing. I used to feel like I had to answer immediately. And as I continued to talk and think, and I had people that were supportive with me, I waited actually another day and a half before I answered the text. When I did answer it, I got the rush again. Only this time it wasn't quite as big of a rush. And I knew exactly what to do. I did a little bit of breathing. I went and did about 15 minutes of abs. And in half an hour, I was calm. And I thought, oh my word, this stuff really works. I've been enjoying learning all of these things from the Arizona Trauma Institute. And I'm just so excited to share it with you because I just think it's so practical. It's so helpful, and it truly works. So, okay, I'm going to teach you one simple breathing exercise today, and we'll learn some more as we go on. Try them when you're stressed, try them when you're anxious, try them when you feel like you're having that anxiety, and see if it helps. So this first one is called box breathing. You're going to breathe in for 5, hold it for 5, breathe out for 5, hold it for 5. You do that 3 or 4 times, and then it gives you a neurological reset. This is not something I'm talking about. Calm yourself down. We're talking physiology. We're talking about our brain. We're talking about neurology, the way our brain works. Doing this breathing is a physical exercise to regulate ourselves. So you want to try it with me? Let's do it. We're going to breathe in. Hold it for 5. Breathe out. Hold it for 5. Now, the breathing out is the most important. Try to make it as strong, as deep, as long as you can. And like I said, do it 3 or 4 times. Let's do it one more time together. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Hold it. Okay, so we only did it once or twice. You may not get the full benefit from it. Try it where you do it 3 or 4 times. Let me know, how did that work? Did you feel like you got the reset? Did it help any at all? So we're going to keep on the next few weeks. We're going to keep on learning stuff. Meanwhile, if you're wanting to get a jump on things and you want to help yourself, take advantage of the free virtual 45-minute coaching session I'm offering to anyone who is interested. No strings attached, no sales pitch, I promise. I've had such a large turnout that I'm going to extend the available sessions on into this new year. There's a link in the show notes. Click the link and you can schedule your complimentary coaching session. Meanwhile, I hope I gave you some information that's helpful, and I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.